Chapter 11. The Ghost in the Machine and the Xylorian Puzzle. The rendezvous point was a shadowy, forgotten asteroid, deep within the outer rim, a place where starlight rarely penetrated and official patrols never ventured. The rogue star settled into a hidden crevice, its engines powered down, waiting for their new shadowy ally. Rex Vance leaned back in the pilot's seat, his arms crossed, a wary expression on his face. So this ghost character, what exactly is he? Alara Reese, ever the pragmatist, was reviewing the Crimson Dagger's brief dossier on their specialist. The profile says he's a master infiltrator, a former Federation intelligence operative who went rogue, specializes in advanced hacking, stealth, and cracking secure systems. He's known for being untraceable. Untraceable, huh? Rex grunted. Usually means they're trouble, and this whole alliance with mercenaries still feels like walking on thin ice. We need him, Captain, Alara reminded him. The Xylorian Collective is not going to be a walk in the park. Their intelligence network is too vast, their security too efficient for a direct approach. Ghost skills are exactly what we lack. Just then, a faint shimmer appeared on the rogue star's external sensors, a barely perceptible distortion in the void. No ship signature, no energy readings, just a visual anomaly. He's here, Alara whispered. A small, sleek personal stealth craft, no larger than a fighter, materialized out of the darkness. It was almost invisible to the naked eye, its hull absorbing all light. It docked with the rogue star's emergency airlock with practiced ease. The airlock cycled, and a figure stepped into the rogue star's cargo bay. He was tall, slender, and moved with a silent, almost unsettling grace. Clad in a form-fitting dark gray suit that seemed to blend with the shadows, his face was obscured by a sophisticated, reflective visor that mirrored the dim lights of the cargo bay. This was Ghost. He carried no visible weapons, just a compact, multi-purpose toolkit slung over his shoulder. His presence was unnervingly quiet, like a whisper in a silent room. Captain Vance. Alara Reese. Ghost's voice was a low, synthesized murmur devoid of emotion. Crimson Blade sends her regards. I am Ghost, and I believe we have business concerning the Veritas Protocol. Rex eyed him, a flicker of suspicion in his gaze. You're a man of few words, aren't you, Ghost? Words are liabilities. Actions are currency, Ghost replied, his mirrored visor giving away nothing. I am here to assist in the retrieval of the Veritas fragment on Xylor. Your information regarding the Council's internal data was appreciated by my benefactors. A fair exchange. So, what's your plan for Xylor? Alara asked, cutting to the chase. The Xylorian Collective has one of the most comprehensive planetary defense grids in the Outer Rim, and their private collectors' vaults are almost impenetrable. Ghost turned his reflective gaze towards Alara. The Xylorian Collective's strength lies in their network of informants and their reliance on complex data encryption. Their weakness is their obsession with information and their rigid protocol. We will use their own systems against them. He then proceeded to lay out a plan that was as intricate as it was audacious. It involved infiltrating Xylor's central data hub, not to directly steal the fragment, but to implant a ghost program, a complex piece of malware designed to slowly, imperceptibly alter their internal records. This would create a false anomaly, a phantom data breach that would force the Xylorian Collective to re-index and resecure their entire archives. During this process, their focus would be diverted, creating a window of opportunity to access the private vault where the Veritas fragment was held. It's a digital ghost hunt, Alara murmured, intrigued. You'll make their system hunt itself while we slip in. Precisely, Ghost confirmed. And the Xylorian Collective will be too proud, too focused on maintaining their perfect security image, to admit a major breach. They will cover it up, making it easier for us to slip away unnoticed. Rex listened, impressed despite himself. This wasn't about brute force, it was about outsmarting the system. And how do we get into their central data hub? That place is probably guarded by their entire intelligence network. Through their supply chain, Ghost explained. The Xylorian Collective relies heavily on automated cargo shipments. We will replace one of their incoming delivery drones with a modified one, carrying a payload that is not what it seems. The payload, it turned out, was Ghost himself, compressed into a tiny, almost invisible module that could be easily inserted into a standard Xylorian cargo container. Once inside the data hub, he would expand, bypass their internal security, and upload his ghost program. The plan was set. The rogue star began its cautious approach to Xylor, a world of shimmering crystalline cities that rose from vast alien jungles. The Xylorian Collective, a species of telepathic, multi-eyed beings, were known for their calm demeanor and their fierce protection of their knowledge. Under Ghost's precise guidance, they located a standard Xylorian cargo freighter on its regular route to Xylor's capital city. Ghost then deployed a small, undetectable drone from the rogue star. The drone, barely a speck against the vastness of space, intercepted the freighter, performed a lightning-fast swap of an identical cargo container, and returned to the rogue star before the freighter's automated systems could even register a blip. "Payload delivered," Ghost's voice murmured from the rogue star's comms, a faint hum now that he was inside the cargo container. "Initiating internal breach in T-12 hours. Prepare for archival re-indexing window." Rex and Alara waited. The 12 hours felt like an eternity. They watched the Xylorian Collective's vast communication network, subtly monitoring for any signs of the Ghost program taking effect. Precisely on schedule, a wave of subtle yet widespread alarms began to ripple through Xylor's internal network. It wasn't a full system failure, but a series of phantom data corruptions, phantom intrusions, phantom data transfers. The Xylorian Collective's highly efficient security protocols immediately identified a pervasive, yet undetectable anomaly. "It's working," Alara exclaimed, watching the chaos unfold on her datapad. "They're initiating a full archival re-indexing. All security forces are being redirected to Ghost breaches." "That's our cue," Rex said, a rare grin spreading across his face. "Time to go hunting for a fragment." They piloted the rogue star towards the private vault district, cloaked by the very confusion Ghost had created. The streets, usually teeming with Xylorian citizens and corporate security, were now strangely quiet. Most personnel diverted to the frantic search for the phantom intruder. They landed the rogue star at a rarely used automated cargo bay entrance to the vault district. The doors were secured, but Alara, using Ghost-provided access codes and her own hacking skills, managed to bypass the locks. "Ghost mentioned this vault has unique crystalline locks," Alara explained as they stepped into a dimly lit corridor. "Each crystal resonates with a specific Xylorian neural frequency. Standard overrides won't work." "So how do we open it?" Rex asked, drawing his plasma pistol. "We don't." Ghost's voice suddenly resonated in their comms, surprisingly clear now that he was closer. He appeared from a hidden vent in the ceiling, dropping silently to the floor. "I do." Ghost produced a small, glowing device, a miniature version of the Libertonian crystal artifact they had used with the protostar. He placed it against the vault's crystalline lock. The device hummed, its light shifting and pulsing, seemingly mimicking the Xylorian neural frequencies. With a soft click, the vault door slid open, revealing a breathtaking chamber filled with shimmering artifacts. The Xylorian Collective's private collection was a wonder, filled with ancient sculptures, forgotten technologies, and priceless relics. "The fragment is in the central display," Ghost murmured, pointing to a floating pedestal in the middle of the room. As they moved towards it, a faint energy signature registered on Alara's scanner. "Captain, I'm detecting a Shadow Keeper signature. It's faint, but it's here." "Valerius again?" Rex grunted, raising his plasma pistol. "No," Ghost's voice was sharp, urgent. "A different signature, stronger. This is an Elder Keeper, more powerful, more dangerous." Just then, from behind a massive alien tapestry, a figure emerged. It was indeed a Shadow Keeper, but larger, more imposing, and radiating an aura of cold, ancient power. Its armor was darker, almost absorbing the light, and its visor glowed with an unsettling red light. This was an Elder Keeper, a higher rank within the Shadow Keepers, a true zealot of the Council's ideology. "You are persistent little truth-seekers." The Elder Keeper's voice was a deep, guttural growl, raw and unsynthesized, unlike Valerius's, "but you will not violate the sacred order on Xylor. This fragment belongs to the shadows." The Elder Keeper lunged, not with an energy blade, but with pure kinetic force, slamming into Rex with astonishing power. Rex was thrown backward, crashing into a display case filled with ancient pottery, sending shards scattering. "Captain," Alara cried, trying to help him. "Get the fragment," Rex yelled, struggling to his feet. The Elder Keeper was faster, stronger than Valerius. Rex's plasma pistol felt like a toy against such power. Ghost, however, didn't hesitate. He melted into the shadows, a true phantom. The Elder Keeper, focused on Rex, seemed unaware of his presence. Rex engaged the Elder Keeper, trying to draw its attention. He fired his plasma pistol, but the Elder Keeper's shields were even more formidable, shrugging off the blasts. The Keeper's movements were fluid, brutal, clearly trained for overpowering opponents. Meanwhile, Alara, clutching the Veritas fragment, tried to retreat, but the Elder Keeper, with uncanny perception, seemed to sense her every move, constantly positioning itself to block her path. Suddenly, a series of precisely aimed energy darts materialized out of the air, striking the Elder Keeper's armor in rapid succession. The Keeper stumbled, its shields flickering violently. It looked around, confused, trying to locate its unseen attacker. Ghost, Rex realized. Ghost, moving with impossible speed, was striking from the shadows, hitting the Elder Keeper's weak points, disrupting its shields. He was a silent storm, a dance of pure efficiency. The Elder Keeper roared in frustration, unleashing a wild energy blast that swept through the chamber, destroying priceless artifacts. Ghost effortlessly dodged, reappearing behind the Keeper, implanting a small glowing device onto its back. The Elder Keeper stiffened. Its movements became erratic, its armor sparking. A high-pitched whine emanated from its suit, rapidly escalating. "What did you do?" Rex yelled, unsure what Ghost had attached. "Overloading its corrupted Libertonian power core." Ghost's voice was calm. "It will detonate in 10 seconds. We should depart." "Detonate?" Alara shrieked. "Get out." Rex grabbed Alara's arm. "Run." They sprinted towards the vault door, Ghost a silent shadow ahead of them. The Elder Keeper began to glow, its red visor pulsing violently. They burst out of the vault, just as a blinding flash and a thunderous explosion rocked the entire Khater corporate complex. The ground trembled, alarms blared, and the lights flickered across the city. "That got their attention," Rex muttered, a grim satisfaction in his voice. They quickly made their way back to the rogue star, their escape aided by the widespread chaos Ghost's actions had created. Xylorian security forces, diverted to the data hub and now scrambling to the vault, were spread thin. As the rogue star ascended from Xylor, leaving a devastated vault and a bewildered Xylorian collective in its wake, Rex looked at the Veritas fragment in Alara's hand. Another piece retrieved. But the encounter with the Elder Keeper had been a chilling reminder of the power and fanaticism of their enemy. "We need a place to analyze this fragment," Alara said, her voice still a little shaky, "and we need to debrief Ghost." "Agreed," Rex said, looking at Ghost, who stood silently in the cockpit, his reflective visor giving away nothing. "Next stop, somewhere safe. And then we figure out what makes these Shadow Keepers tick and how to stop them permanently." Their journey had just become a race against a truly formidable and fanatical enemy. The truth was slowly emerging, but with every piece, the danger grew exponentially.